welcome to round 3 of the 2020 Mailbag Royal Rumble. I am joined tonight by Dan Vane, yesterday's winner. Good tense competition yesterday, wasn't it? Came through with a story.
It was very nerve-wracking.
It was. Basically, the thing that pretty much sealed it for him was a story about going to the Palace of Bubbles, which is Pierre Cardin's gaff, at the 2002 after-show party for The Matrix 2, was it, or something?
2003 Cannes Film Festival, yeah.
Yeah. But the thing he neglected to tell us at the time was that he was playing drums with The Clash as well at that gig.
Around that time, yeah. One gig.
And Shane McGowan.
Yeah.
And Mick Jones said to be shy, didn't he?
Yeah, Mick Jones called me the worst drummer he'd ever seen.
You know, anyway. He's a bass guitarist, isn't he?
Well, the weird thing is I met him 3 times after that over a period of 18 months at various events, and he called me the worst drummer he'd ever seen at all 3 events. So it really stuck with him. He really liked me.
Well, you left an impression, which is more than most would. So I'll take that as a win either way. I am also joined, challenging Dan, by Keith, Matt Barry and Si Magner. Lads, we'll kick straight off. The way this works is you get 1 hot topic, 2 Ask Us Anything, and then 2 true or false at the end. As with the usual hot topic rules, if you know the answer to the news story it's related to, shout out the name of a random Everton player. You get first dibs on the answer. Get it right, get a point. We will kick off with the hot topics round. Based on a news story from July, what's the longest flight you've ever been on?
I'll try that.
Shout. Go ahead, Si, what's this about?
It is the world's longest passenger flight, is it? From France to somewhere in the South Atlantic?
It's not.
It's not?
That's a great shout. You've obviously done your research there, so you get a point for that anyway. Oh, I forgot to say, Dan gets a point because he was yesterday's winner as well. Has anyone got another answer to that?
Edental.
What is it?
Was it the Virgin Galactic?
It wasn't.
Plane ride. Oh, FFS.
It wasn't. Anyone?
Tim Howard.
This is great. I'm going to get so many Everton player pictures up on this one. Go ahead, then, mate. What is it?
Was it the Boeing 747 going out of service?
It was.
Oh!
Keith Tomlin, look at that. Basically, Si and Matt just hit the bar and the post respectively, and Keith just tapped in the rebound there.
Run off celebrating shamelessly.
Right, go ahead then. You can. I tell you what, you've done a lot of flights in your time, haven't you? So you can tell me what is the longest flight you've been on?
I have, yeah. I used to work offshore, and the company worked all around the world. So I've had a couple of long ones, like out to China, Japan, and the likes. But the longest one I've been on was actually when I was in the Air Force, and it was 18 hours total from the Falkland Islands back to RAF Bryce Norton, which was absolutely horrific because if you think economy class on a passenger plane is terrible, try flying with the forces. It is, the human rights go out of the window completely. And it was, it's just, you get off the end of it and you feel like your spine's been compressed because your knees have spent 2 days up by your ears. So yeah, that was, and I used to be quite good at sleeping on planes, but you're in such an unnatural position. You can't sleep. There's no onboard entertainment. So you've got 18 hours of staring at the head in front of you.
And just loads of fellas.
Wow.
Just loads of fellas who have spent 4 months in the Falklands and are just completely fed up with life. Reckon they should have the Samaritan's number sewn into the back of the headrests.
That was worse than 18 hours on Con Air, that, mate. Jesus. Si, we'll come to you next.
11 hours to Cancun.
That must have been nicer.
When we got there. Well, we were there for 2 weeks and it was probably sunny for about 5 or 6 days, and torrential rain in between. So it was nice, obviously, when the sun was out, because it was Cancun's in the Caribbean, isn't it? It's amazing, but when you got the torrential rain, it was an absolute nightmare.
Not much else to do.
Watch the footy, get pissed.
But you'd only be doing at home anyway.
Yeah.
Could be worse.
Could be worse.
Matt, longest flight you've been on?
10.5 hours to Florida, of which 9.5 were after I threw up everywhere within the first hour. So yeah, so we were. It was our first trip to Florida, and we were going for my birthday. So first time we flew with Virgin as well, so I was very, very excited. And my wife had booked a lovely hotel the night before, so had a lovely meal in the evening, got up in the morning, had a fantastic breakfast. So I felt obligated that I needed to eat everything. And then when we went through the departure lounge, they had a lovely Costa coffee. So I decided to have a large latte, expecting it to be like a sort of a Starbucks size large latte, but it came out like a goldfish bowl. So I drank that, and then as we took off, after about half an hour, I didn't feel particularly well, and then I said to Alice, I don't feel particularly well. I think I'm going to be sick. And then in the process of getting up to go and be sick, I just threw up all down me, completely, all down my shirt, all down my jeans, all in the footwell below. So she's dying. James is sat in the middle of us. He's just like, he can't even look at me. So I managed to get one of the blanket things in the seat in front of us, the compartment, put that over me. So it sort of disguised it a little bit. And then I got the attention of one of the air stewardesses, and I ended up having a pair of Virgin pajamas from first class, which was nice. Although they were absolutely massive. So they must be like a size 44 waist, and there must have been like a size 50 chest. So when I was going to the loo a bit later on, then I looked like an absolute bag of rags. It's like, it looked like a straitjacket top on, because the sleeves were halfway past my knees, and I had the ties of the trousers wrapped around me about twice.
One heavy 9.5 hours there.
Oh, it was hard work.
The way you
Hard work.
completely
Still got the jammers.
up beforehand.
Still got the jammers. Yeah, yeah.
What are you drinking there, Matty? You drinking a latte?
Just tea. No, just tea. Just tea. So yeah, that was a long 9.5 hours.
Dan?
My wife's from New Zealand, and first time I went there, I was there for nearly 6 months, and we were in the South Island. Right at the bottom, there's a place called Bluff. It's like the end of the world, and my phone rang. It was one of my oldest friends from school, and I basically got told she didn't have long on the planet, basically, by her husband. So I had to get home and back to England, and I jumped on the first flight I could, which went out of, I had to go from Christchurch to Auckland to Sydney to LA, 1 hour stop in LA for refuel, and then back to London all in one go.
Wow.
Jesus.
And it took about 36. I mean, I was only technically on a plane. The longest was LA to London, which is 14 hours. But I left New Zealand. I left New Zealand on like a Saturday night, and I got to London Monday.
Yeah, that LA leg is only 14 hours, mate. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, it's not enough. It's dead easy. Right.
Yeah, it's absolutely. Yeah, it's grim.
That's horrific. So, okay, so Dan, you get a point because that's 30 hours flying, basically. Keith, you get a point because you've got the longest flight. Matt, you get a sympathy point just for horrific.
Thank you very much.
And Si, so you don't get a point in that one. But, I can't just give out points to everyone willy-nilly.
You just have.
I had my reasons. I couldn't, your holiday rained a little bit. I couldn't,
Christmas spirit, Les.
It's not very Christmassy, is it? Right, that is the end of the hot topic round. Dan's on 2, Keith's on 2, Matt's on 1, a size on 1. It's all to play for. Ask us anything. So back in March, Rob Vera with his tones asked us, what's your favourite movie / TV show about an outbreak / apocalypse / Black Swan event? His go-to is Shaun of the Dead. There's a little bit of innocence in that question, isn't there? It's like, it was all a bit like, oh yeah, it's a bit mad, this, isn't it? Not realising come December, we would still be in essentially or if not worse. So, Matt, I'll come to you first on this. What's your go-to outbreak apocalypse movie?
End of Days, which is a phenomenally good film. It's probably one of the only films where Arnold Schwarzenegger actually gets a kick in, and that you actually feel a bit emotionally attached to the devil, who's played by Gabriel Byrne fantastically. And it's sort of, you feel a bit sad towards, spoiler alert, but you feel a bit sad at the end of how it works out, and the devil actually doesn't win. So it's absolutely superb film. Even the story's good.
Yeah, which is some Arnie film. Well, there you go.
Yeah,
unfair, isn't it? That's a little bit unfair, I think. Right, I'll stop being Barry Norman. Dan?
I like, I guess it's apocalyptic. I like Mad Max Fury Road. I just think it's amazing. And there's a version quite pretentiously called the black and chrome version. Yeah, it's one of those things that you sort of stick on at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and end up still sitting there at 2 or 3 o'clock because you have to watch it all. It's just wicked. It looks great, never stops, relentless. Tom Hardy's brilliant in it. It's just awesome. Love it.
I think Fury Road's going to be the M62 in about 6 months, isn't it? Si?
I've got a couple. Can I answer more than one?
Go ahead, go for it, man.
I think, like, from the TV show, I think I've watched the pilot episode of The Walking Dead about 10 times. Thought it was fantastic. Obviously, the show got a bit boring afterwards. And I didn't watch the last couple of series.
It was so good early doors, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. That first show, like, episode where he wakes up and you're like, wow, what's going on?
Yeah.
That's good. But I like him. I've got a bit of a guilty pleasure when it comes to, like, apocalyptic destruction type of films. So, like, the likes of, like, San Andreas with The Rock in, I love that. But I think, like, my favourite's 2012. Have you seen that with John Cusack?
No.
It's directed by Roland Emmerich, who's done, like, Independence Day and The Day After Tomorrow. So he's got. Is
that one where he does the jump in the limo side?
Yeah, he's
driving the limo and it's a bit of an earthquake. And
he's going through the donuts and stuff.
Yeah, it's a great film.
It's awful, but it's just such an easy watch. So yeah, I think that's, like, one of my favourites. I could watch that over and over again. To be fair, but that I like that Roland Emmerich as a director, because you don't have to think about any of his films. So Independence Day, classic. Day After Tomorrow, nah. But 2012's boss.
You should get your own film review show on the back of that side. Just
do.
Keith?
See, Si's on something there, right? If you're watching a disaster film or an apocalypse film, the worse the film is, the more ridiculous the premise is, the better a disaster film it is. And as such, I present to you Geostorm with Gerard Butler doing a terrible American accent. Let me give you the IMDb description of this film, because you're going to absolutely love it. When the network of satellites designed to control the global climate starts to attack Earth, it's a race against the clock for its creator to uncover the real threat before a worldwide geostorm wipes out everything and everyone. Like, how do you compete with that, honestly?
Should we swerve this and just go and watch it now?
Or yeah, just watch it tonight. It's great. Get bevied and watch it. Gerard Butler delivers a timeless line as well in that awful American accent of his, where he says, "I'm sorry I'm late. I literally had to fly in from outer space to a Senate committee hearing," which is just that is great. They were on the gear at the time, like, so there you go. That is my apocalyptic.
He's got another one coming up this year called Greenland, which is going to be.
Watched it last night on no, not last night, the night before on the old IPTV there. It's, do you know what? It's actually quite good.
Yeah,
like it's not that ridiculous for a Gerard Butler film. It's actually quite watchable, and they don't try and make him do the American accent either.
So the opening line on IMDb here is, "A family fights for survival as a planet-killing comet races to Earth." What more do you want? What more do you want?
It's got everything.
How are they fighting for the survival, like, more than anyone else?
Oh, I could tell you, but it would be a spoiler, so I'll let you watch it.
Yeah, that's well, because I don't think I've actually seen any of those films. I'm basically Mike alone at this point. I don't really watch films. Everyone gets a point. There you go. You happy with that, Si? Got a point there.
Yeah.
Next question. I'll come to you first, Keith. Back in February, which were very much simpler times. You know, you still had the Madrid game in Anfield, the racing festival. Everything was fine. Adam Jones asked, if you could only get fast food from one place for the rest of your life, where would it be, Keith?
I think I was on this show. I think I answered this at the time.
May well have been, actually.
And I'm sticking with my answer to that, or I might have been listening to it and in my head gone, "Oh yeah, that's the one I'd pick." If you're limited to one thing for the rest of your life, I subscribe to the school of thought that pizza is the answer, because you can change up the toppings and still keep a nice bit of variety. You're not stuck with the same old thing. So I'm going with Domino's because their sides are better than Pizza Hut.
They are well better.
Those pepperoni dough balls are ace.
Yeah.
The chicken wings are great, and the meatballs that they do, that little tray of meatballs, is great.
Yeah. So I live in between a Domino's and a Pizza Hut, basically.
I see. We used to get ours delivered when we lived in Morton. We got ours delivered from Hoylake, and it was crap. And then we moved to Pensby, and we get it delivered from Heswall now, and it's great. Oh. So it is depending on which store you get it from, but you'll get the Upton one, won't you? Which is also quite good.
Morton Pizza Hut, yeah, both decent, to be fair. Si?
I'm not a meat eater, so although pizza Domino's is amazing, I couldn't choose Domino's for a second time, so I'm going to go with Frost Burger, which is like a vegan burger place in Liverpool. It's fast food. I'll use that description loosely because it takes fucking ages to come out, but it's well worth the wait. It's amazing. It's like the best burgers I've tasted, and I've taken friends there, and they've come away saying the same. Yeah, so Frost Burgers.
Need to try that, Gaff, actually. Just on vegetarian burgers, do you like the Linda McCartney vegetarian and mozzarella ones?
I do.
They're very good, aren't they?
They're very good, yeah.
They are good. Dan?
I'd have to pick my son's favourite fast food, the place that brings him the most joy when I say we're going there or we're getting anything from there. And it's a place called Good Friend Chicken. It's Taiwanese flattened chicken. They do everything with chicken. They make it into popcorn, lollipops. They flatten it. They roll it. They do everything with it. But the thing that we like, they get a chicken breast and they batter it into the size of a kind of your face. Then they dip it in their special crispy whatnot, and it comes out like a big fried flat piece of chicken. And then on the counter, they have like 25 different seasonings that they shake all over the top. And you've got things like numbing. It's just called numbing because it's so hot. There's like seaweed powder, lemon powder, garlic powder, blah, blah. And they shake it all over. You kind of tell them what you want. Then they cut it into sort of slices and fold it to make it look like a wrap. Wrap it in paper and hand it to you. And it's amazing.
Yeah, sounds amazing.
And my son's favourite 2 toppings are, he always has numbing and seaweed. And I go lemon, seaweed and numbing. And it's amazing.
Yeah, that sounds nice. If I ever get back down to London, I'll give that a try. I went to Chicken Shop by yours. That's not far from yours, is it?
No, it's not far, no.
Chicken Shop, which is decent. That does good chicken.
It's a very vague name. Is it actually called the Chicken Shop?
Yeah, it's called the Chicken Shop. So I was down there with work. I went to the Chicken Shop.
That's awesome.
Randomly met Dan in a pub afterwards. Yeah, that does good chicken. The Chicken Shop, just nice and easy. Matt?
It's tough this. I'd probably say Five Guys, because they do quite a decent varied menu, but it's so expensive that you could probably only afford to eat there very, very infrequently. So you probably lose weight in between eating. So you're going to eat great food, pay an absolute fortune for it, but you're going to eat it probably once or twice a week. So you're probably going to drop a few pounds whilst enjoying your food.
That's a good shout. That is a very good shout. I can't go to Five Guys with Jay anymore because remember the Arsenal game where we beat them 2-1, Ashley Williams header?
Yeah.
We went to Five Guys before that. We had to leave. Well, we didn't leave dead early. He was saying he was feeling sick. I was like, just hang on. So thankfully we didn't leave before we scored. But he threw up in the car on the way home, like everywhere.
Oh.
It's completely put him off. But the good news is we saw the winning goal. So
there's a Five Guys in the cinema in it's called the Red Dragon Centre down by us. And Helen and I were going out to watch a film. And we went into Five Guys and we ordered whatever we ordered, like the double pates, whatever it is, and all the fries and stuff, the drinks. And it was so expensive, I couldn't do contactless. I'd gone past the contactless limit. I was absolutely distraught. So about four or five different. Yeah.
Why is it so expensive?
It is criminal, isn't it? I remember that I've been once. Berserk. And the scran was dead. The scran was dead nice, like it was really good. But then I got to the till to pay for it, and they said how much it was, and it was for me, the missus, and two meals. And we're like, she said how much it was. I'm like, nah, that can't be right. Hang on, have you put through more meat? No, that's how much it is. Look up the board, and it's like £8. £8 for just your burger.
For a single burger before you've even had anything else on it.
Yeah, just a normal burger.
And then you have the fries, and then you have the drink. Yeah, honestly, it's fantastic food.
It is racketeering.
Yeah, completely. We'll have to give you the points because pizza probably is the right answer. To be fair, good shouts all round. To be honest, I do need to try out Frostburg. I would definitely be trying that chicken gaff, and Five Guys' class as well. But I think pizza, just for its versatility and everything, would have to be. That's what I'd go to. So that's the end of Ask Us Anything. Dan's on 3, Keith's on 4, Matt and Sire on 2 each. All to play for in true or false. So remember, if you give us a T for true, F for false, and I will toss the points and we'll see you win at the end. So true or false, Edinburgh is further west than Bristol. Okay, so keep it there. True.
I did go true.
Did you?
I changed. Well,
okay.
Yeah.
False. And true. That's false. Second one. The reason the taste of artificial banana flavouring and artificial banana flavoured products don't taste like bananas is because it's based on a type of banana that was wiped out by a plague in the 1950s. True or false? So Sai says false. Everyone else says true. So I forgot I'm doing this on a podcast as well, aren't I? So I should really be telling the listeners what everyone's doing. So anyway, there's the true or false. Edinburgh is actually further west than Bristol, amazingly. So Dan gets a point. Keith gets a point. Matt doesn't get a point. Si doesn't get a point there. And the artificial bananas, the bananas were wiped out by a plague in the 1950s. So Dan gets a point, Keith gets a point, and Matt gets a point. So tonight's winner, Dan, I'm afraid you've been thrown over the ropes. Keith is tonight's winner with 6. Wild applause everywhere. Keith, can you come back for the final showdown tomorrow?
I'll have to check with my secretary, but yeah, should be able to.
It's a 12:30 kickoff.
That'll be no bother tomorrow.
Nice and early because it's New Year's Eve. Brilliant. I even had a tiebreaker ready for that and everything. It was a close run thing though. Thanks Keith, thanks Si, thanks Dan, thanks Matt. We'll be back tomorrow with the final of the Royal Rumble. We'll catch you then.